This exhibition is titled Vintage20, Design for Living.
Is a tribute to Jae Chung and his gallery, Vintage20. It runs alongside a new publication by Tina Kim Gallery that highlights Jae's incredible eye and curatorial vision. I met Jae and Tina about 10 years ago while working on their home. That's how I got to know Jae's collection, not just as a group of objects, but as part of how he lived. Through him, I learned how important design can be, not just in terms of history, but in how things feel in a space, how they sit next to art, how color, scale, and material come together to create something whole.
So in this corner of the gallery, we have set up a group of objects that lived in Jae's study at home. One of the great highlights of his collection was this Congo table by Jean Prouvé from Brazzaville in Congo, from the Air France offices. We have set at the table the way that he had it, actually, this wonderful Perriand chair in cowhide that is classic and super inspiring to so many designers that have come after. He had a really wonderful collection of Jouve ceramics. This vivid color was something that became a thread for me. It was one of Jae's favorite colors, and we deployed it throughout the show.
Over here, on a 1930s Art Deco rug, we've grouped several works, including a 1933 Cité chair by Prouvé. It's an early example designed for student dorms in Nancy and shows how he used industrial materials like bench sheet steel to create something bold and comfortable.
And I'm standing in front of a very rare Perriand console
designed for student rooms at Maison de la Tunisie in Paris. It was never commercially produced and was made to fit beneath a window, showing how Perriand's furniture was always in dialogue with architecture and space. Above it hangs a 1955 painting by Alexander Calder, which was part of Calder Nakashima, a 2008 exhibition Jae curated at Vintage20. That show brought Calder and Nakashima together, revealing their shared respect for materials and sense of balance. It's a show people still talk about and one that continues to resonate.
This is totally amazing. This Basquiat large painting that was done on a subfloor, so you can see the raking planks of a subfloor, which then were cut in this arc out of the floor, and now they are on the wall.
We've placed a sculptural chair by Sana next to it. Jae was a big admirer of their work. It's reflective, minimal, and sets up this quiet dialogue between the architecture and art. Here's one of those playful moments that Jae was so good at. A Lalande sheep. He placed them often in his interiors, and they always added this touch of humor and charm. We've paired it with these ceramic vessels by Jane Yang Dehane, a contemporary artist whose richly textured work complements the sheep in such a satisfying way. It's almost like the sheep is in a little field. Moving over, there's a maquette for Calder's The Wave from 1966, resting on a rare Prouvé slate table. Next to it is a 2019 prototype chair by Joris Larman, made by layering and carving veneers to create this almost skeletal, bone-like form.
So on this side of the daybed, it's a little bit of a surprise for visitors, I think. They would have to come around the plinth to appreciate it, so it's sort of a gift to those that are really looking. We placed this drawing by Mario Botta of his design for the Museum Tongoli in Basel, which was a special object in Jae's collection that I found personally quite exciting, and we've just sort of leaned it against the back of the daybed here. And something else that's exciting to see is that swivel table on the Prouvé Perriand daybed. which makes this piece especially rare, as the connected swivel table is unusual, and I think really gets to some of the nature of why the Prouvé Perriand pieces connect so well with some of the Calder works or some of the Nakashima works. There's this language of shape and mechanism and kinetics and function and a whole kind of arc of thinking there and creativity that really unifies this collection. At the end of the show, we have two really iconic pieces by Nakashima from the 70s, and this lamp, which he made for the Nakashima's family doctor, Dr. Seymour in Princeton, New Jersey.
It has that signature Nakashima structure and warm glow, but what's really striking is underneath, it's got this network of cutouts that resemble a solar system. It's subtle, but really poetic, and very much his language.
This exhibition builds on the amazing legacy of Vintage20 and its founder, Jae Chung, who was a close friend of mine and from whom I learned so much. We aimed with this show to capture a little bit of that spark, a little bit of his sensitivity, his humor, his touch, and his eye for color, for scale, for pattern, and the connections that he drew between great works of art and historically significant design. And that energy, that excitement is on display here at the gallery.